Hello everyone, I'm the Weather Dude, welcome back, and today we are talking about the threat for multiple upcoming snowstorms. Before we get started with the video though, if you guys have not already, please consider subscribing. It really does help my channel grow. I want to thank you guys so much for 2,000 subscribers. We've flown past, and hopefully we can hit our next goal of 3,000 subscribers soon. And also, to help this video reach more people, please consider liking and sharing it as well. And let's get into the video now. And as always, please be sure to stay tuned for the whole video so you don't miss out on great weather content. And today we are talking about, again, multiple upcoming major snowstorms. There's going to be like a trio of them. And this is what we essentially almost call like the Three Stooges, right? One, we had Nathaniel that is moving through today. Sadly, for where I am, it was kind of a bummer. Didn't end up really getting any snow. Woke up this morning, there wasn't any snow on the ground at all. But some areas slightly farther north, they get a little bit of snow. But it was kind of a bummer for everybody, except for near the Great Lakes where you had lake enhancement. And then the next storm, all right, as you'll see later on in the video, you'll see as well, the next storm coming in around Thursday will be kind of like a southern slider. It'll be a little bit further south. Still not that much snow. But then there's going to be the big storm that's already named Winter Storm Orlena, however you want to call it. And it's going to be moving through Sunday through Tuesday of next week. So anyway, without further ado, let's get into it here. Starting off with our oscillations. The PNA, again, when it's down, it actually doesn't really help support cold air for the central and eastern United States. But when it's up, as you'll see, that it's going to go up beginning of February. And that's what's going to support the cold and the snow. All right. NAO will actually be going up, though, but still staying below zero through beginning of February. But AO, notice the AO though, AO, Arctic Oscillation, will be staying pretty far down. So that's what's going to help us here, even though the NAO isn't quite corresponding very well. In our 6 to 10 day precip outlook, from the 1st to the 5th of February, as you can see for pretty much everybody except for the Gulf Coast, above average precip, even that was February 1st through 5th. February 3rd through 9th, we still got above average precip, especially for the central and the eastern U.S., while the West Coast flips back to drier conditions. And Alaska also above average precipitation. Now, this is a good first depiction map from the Weather Channel here, as you can see. Now, the low track, I don't know if that's like, especially from what the models are showing, I don't really agree with this low track, because if the low, especially when it's tracked this far north, you wouldn't see this kind of snow for the I-95 corridor. So track, I think, I mean, every storm is different, but I think the track will be a little bit further to the south than that. But according to this, yes, several inches, if not upwards of a foot, even for coastal northeast, even I-95 corridor, some spots could even see even the Midwest, back towards Chicago again. Maybe Chicago just got walloped by like over a half foot of snow, so they could get it again. All right, and for the I-95 corridor, this is one we've been waiting for ever since December 16th, really. I mean, it was the last time we really had a big storm in this area. All right, so we're going to be going through the models. We're going to talk about both the storm that, so basically Nathaniel's moving out. We have the storm that's coming through on Thursday. We're going to briefly talk about that one, and also the one that's coming Sunday through Tuesday of next week. So as you can see, here is the Thursday storm. Now, according to the GFS model, here's the low here, North Carolina. In those magenta areas in western, like southwestern Virginia, and even eventually in through like central North Carolina, there's going to be the magenta. That's a really heavy snowfall. And that heavy snowfall will begin when the low's off the coast, and you throw in a little bit more moisture from the Atlantic side, and that's what's really going to help fuel that heavier snow. And even some coastal locations could end with some flurries in North Carolina as the storm moves offshore. All right, so let's go. So the storm ended it'll probably be moving off mid-Thursday, so it's kind of like a Wednesday-ish, like a late Wednesday into Thursday kind of event here. All right, so let's go out about 51 hours or so and talk about snow total from the first system. Now, GFS actually puts like 6 inches plus. I don't know if that's quite accurate. I would definitely say quite a few inches is possible, especially if the snowfall rates do pick up and we get some banding. But a few inches is definitely possible. But a foot, I can't say 13 inches. In the mountainous areas, certainly yes. In the mountain areas, I think it's certainly possible. Even a few inches back towards Tennessee, in the mountainous regions of Tennessee, even central Tennessee in the low part. We got Kentucky, eastern Kentucky as well. So even southern West Virginia getting it on the snow. But then it's time to move on to the next system, right? The one that's going to move through on Sunday, right? And here comes the snow, and I want you to notice the snow here, right? This is Sunday morning, all right? The Sunday morning, keep in mind, that's when the low arrives. It's already back in the Midwest here. So we're talking about maybe midday, late day Sunday, the snow arrives, right? Now here comes the snow, all right? And the storm, notice the storm still sitting off the coast of the Northeast, but look at the time frame. It's Monday night. Remember, this started early mid-Sunday, and Monday night, even through Tuesday morning, it could still be lingering around with some flurries, even in snow showers through Tuesday morning. Now, I am using a 12Z run of the GFS. 18Z is coming out, but it's not out in full yet, which is why I don't think I can show the GFS 18Z model run yet. Yeah, from the time I'm recording this, I can't show the 18Z run yet because not enough data has come out. But as you can see, look at the totals here with the GFS model. And you're going to see a European later on in the video, and it's really exciting. So you're going to want to stay tuned for that as well. So this is through like both storms combined, basically. Parts of Appalachian Mountains could be over a foot, even 1 to 2 feet up there in northeast New England. I want you to look at Boston, even just west of Boston. You're going to want to remember what the GFS is saying here, almost 2 feet, right? Well, I want you to look at the European model. Well, I'm going to show you towards the end of the video and just see the difference. All right. Even I-95 corridor, if you name some of the cities like Boston, according to the GFS anyway, 14 inches. New York City, maybe like 3, and just to the west, maybe about 6. Philadelphia, about 3 inches. Washington, or Baltimore, I should say 4 inches, and even 4 inches for Washington as well. All right. Now, I-95 corridor cities, your snow is going to come just from the storm that comes Sunday to Tuesday, so the third storm. The second storm that comes in on Thursday will be a little bit further south. Again, so for areas right here, like a little bit further south. So our next model here we have is the Canadian. Now, remember, since this is, I wouldn't call this really long-term, but kind of like mid-range long-term, so I can't show you like all the high-definition models yet. We'll have to wait till we get closer to the actual event itself. But here's a Canadian model here. Again, lows off the coast. We got more moisture flowing in. And here is the snow they're going to see cranking out. And again, just like the GFS, the Canadian puts an emphasis on the heavy snow right in the southwestern corner of Virginia. Just interesting that both models agree on that. And in the snow, you will see some snow, of course, maybe for Virginia Beach, even for coastal North Carolina portions, especially as we got too many areas that spin, kind of like making one big low pressure. And it's going to help to draw a little bit more cold air in as the low strengthens offshore. All right. So snowfall totals with the first system that we have. Let's go to snow totals here, and much more. I believe Canadian is much more reasonable here, right? 1 to 3, maybe even 3 to 5 in some areas. Eastern Virginia, Eastern North Carolina, and then in the mountains, maybe 5 to 8 in the mountains in West Virginia or southwestern Virginia and the Appalachian and Smoky Mountains as well. Could even see over 4 or 5 inches. But then we have to go back here and talk about the next system, because here it comes on Sunday. And again, it's Sunday, late Sunday. It arrives from many mid-Atlantic regions. And you can see even a lot of ice in northern central North Carolina here. You're going to see some areas of ice. Right, remember, late Sunday, right? Here comes the low, and it may not even be over. Like, the latest one of the Canadian has been moving offshore a little bit quicker. Just a little bit quicker. Like, starting late Sunday and ending late Monday is still almost 24 hours, and that's still a lot of snow. And you can see a lot of snow showers left behind here. The low's really going to strengthen offshore, and we could even get some lake effect here and just some, maybe another disturbance left behind it, where we will see some remaining snow showers for a while before it really all winds down, all right? Probably late Tuesday into Wednesday. So let's get the snowfall totals out just from both systems. Now, again, Northeast, you're only really getting the third system, and really the Mid-Atlantic, you're mostly getting the second system. All right, so let's take a look here. And again, from both systems, you can see parts of southwestern Virginia maybe stacking up over a foot. As for I-95 cities, Boston maybe 10, 11, even close to a foot. New York, 8 inches. Philly, about 5 inches. Baltimore, 4 inches. And 5 inches for Washington, according to this model. And a lot of snow as well for the mountainous regions in Virginia and eastern West Virginia. This storm does look pretty significant. We're seeing increasing confidence. We're not 100% sure yet. Of course, keep that in mind. There will certainly be more updates as well. And it's already been named Winter Storm Orlena, however you guys want to say it. And still, look at it, 6 to 12 inches, even over a foot. Maybe additional 15 inches is what this model is calling for Chicago, like right on the lake. So next model is our V16 parallel version of the GFS model. All right, another kind of variant of it. you can still see, look at the heavy snow, the magenta you can see across northern North Carolina as the low makes its way offshore. So, I mean, if we get these really intense snowfall rates that get 1-2 inches plus an hour, even if the snow doesn't last long, like imagine if your snowfall rate is 2 inches an hour, right? And it only snows for like 30 minutes. That's still an inch of snow, right? And not even an hour. All right, and then the low kind of moves offshore, and it's pretty much done for by Thursday, late in the day Thursday. So, snowfall totals with the first system alone. Really, I mean, the models are really amping it up here. I mean, we're talking about 6 to 10 inches, northern North Carolina, mountainous Virginia, even southwestern mountainous West Virginia, and even the Smoky Mountains as well, included in that. And even 3 to 5 inches for really like almost, I wouldn't say Cape Hatteras, but kind of like in the inlets there in North Carolina, pretty close to the coastline, even if a couple or a few inches is possible. Kentucky, Tennessee, even a few inches according to this model as well. But again, got to talk about the second system. Here it comes, or I should say third technically. All right, so here it comes, and it's already arriving. Now, according to this model, it's already arriving 8 a.m.-ish on Sunday. Washington, Baltimore, even Wilmington, it's already arrived for you guys. Pittsburgh, all right, we got the leading edge of the snow, right? And again, you got the low here, you got the snow on the leading edge, and you got like a cold front and then a warm front, and here's your warm sector. It's all down here. So that's kind of like how the storm looks. Pretty similar to how we've seen the other storms look. But I want you to notice for like Washington and Philly, it's starting 8 a.m. Thursday or 8 a.m. Sunday, right? Get some heavy snow to work its way through. It may flip over to rain briefly, although model trends are showing it may not go over to rain for some areas. Even if it does, though, it's going to go right back to snow. And we'll see some flurries still for Tuesday morning. So hopefully snow will have the last word, if you will, right? Like snow to rain and back to snow for some areas. And for areas farther north, it may be snow all the way for you guys. So when you combine both storms, we have totals. Again, we're talking about I-95 cities. Boston 16 inches, New York about 6, Philly about 6, Baltimore 7, and Washington 9.5. All right, so that's still a lot of snow. You see a lot of purple and red filling up the map here. And that purple and red is where we're going to see over 6 inches plus in the purple and even 12 inches plus in the red. All right, so even the Midwest, even the Appalachian Mountains, even the Northeast. So when you combine the system that comes through towards the south and the next system that we're going to see, it's going to be a lot of snow, and I think many people are going to find it welcoming. Not everybody loves the snow, but I'm sure considering some of us that had not so good of a winter, I think this will definitely be welcome. Now, next model, before the European, we're going to show this one because the Icon, I almost feel like it has a kind of like an anti-snow bias, like kind of like less snow. And I wanted to show you because the Icon actually shows something very interesting. That's why I wanted to show it because usually it doesn't. It's pretty abnormal for this model, and the fact that even the Icon model is saying this really says something. So anyway, here's your first low. All right, here's the first low, kind of like Thursday morning, makes its way offshore, right? I mean, if we look at the snow totals from that one, not very much. I mean, inch, 2, maybe 3, much more realistic with the Icon. But then, all right, here it comes, the other system, all right, that we're going to be seeing, our Sunday through Tuesday system. Here it is, all right? So here it comes. Look at the snow starting like 11 a.m.-ish Monday, right? Even for Washington, maybe 8 a.m. in the morning. All right, and here comes the snow, and it's still here, right? Sunday morning, maybe midday Sunday. May very briefly go over to rain, but really, and then look at this. Look at this. Look at when the low moves offshore. Look how we just crashed right back to snow here, right? You got, look at these arrows that I'm pointing here, and you can see the darker blues. Really watch the darker blues fill in. Look at this, right? Oh, sorry about that. Right here. All right, look at the darker blues you see for the mid-Atlantic, for the Northeast. You can already see as soon as that low makes its way to the east, that cold air is coming in strong. All right, and keep in mind the snow is still going. I mean, even through 8 p.m. Tuesday. All right, so these snow totals don't quite include, but it includes most of the storm, not quite all of it. And you can see where we're going to see 1 to 2 feet of snow. This is kind of the picture. If you saw the thumbnail, this is the picture I basically used the thumbnail. You can see 1 to 2 feet, right? Not really clickbait. I mean, the model does say it. All right, and then you got 6 to 12, all the way up from southern Maine, all the way down the western spine of the Appalachian Mountains. All right, and again, within there, where could that bullseye spot be? 1 to 2 feet plus. All right, definitely shocking for the Icon model. And now the European model may be even more exciting. All right, so here's the European model. First low, we got some snow, some mix to the south of there. All right. Makes its way off the coast, not really a big issue. All right, we got 1 to 3 inches. European is more realistic with this one. I feel like 3 to 5 in the Appalachian in the Smoky Mountain regions, but then, oh boy, here comes the other low. All right, and as you can see, it arrives. Now you can see this one takes more of a form of a coastal storm, right? Now they have this low kind of arriving maybe later Sunday in through Monday morning, but look at this. The low just sits here and spins just over the mid-Atlantic. It just doesn't stop, right? Remember, it arrived very early Monday, right? Like overnight Sunday, Monday morning, right? Keep in mind, look at the time frame I'm on now. Low is off the coast. It is Tuesday afternoon now at like mid-late afternoon Tuesday, and we're still cranking the snow. So even if your snowfall rates are not that intense, all right, this is going to be lasting for, I mean, some of these models are calling us for last for 24, 36 hours plus. So that is a very, very long time. All right, and it finally, even look at this. This is 8 p.m. Tuesday, and I-95 corridor from Philly, New York, Boston, we're still going at 8 p.m. Tuesday. And it finally, wake up Wednesday, it's all set and done. Now the snowfall is going to shock you, and I feel like a particular region that the European highlighted, I feel like is very, very bullish. But I would honestly love to see if it happened. And here it is. Yeah, they're calling for 40 inches of snow. Now, I don't feel like this is realistic, but 40 inches. I mean, this is 2 to 3 feet plus. All right, right there in Northern Virginia. Washington's in 25 inches. Philadelphia's in a foot, which is more realistic. All right. Now, the earlier run of the European had Boston only a few inches, but now it's been upgraded to. But if you look at the 0Z run of the European, Boston was only like in 4 inches. Now they're back to 14 inches. So there's an update there. But 40 inches of snow for Northern Virginia. Oh my gosh, that's a lot. And I don't think that's going to happen. Could we see a foot or two? 1 or 2 feet is still certainly on the table. But, it's over 3.5 feet. You're kind of starting to push it a little bit. All right, but we'll see. It's not impossible. I just don't think that's going to happen. But a foot or two is definitely possible. And to wrap it up here, all right, and here we have some of the wind forecasting. So here, let's take a look at the wind gusts. Again, this is European. Good way to start off here with the European. And again, here is the low. And not only will the snow be really heavy, it's going to be a coastal storm. So winds could gust like central Delaware here, 55 mile an hour wind gusts. Offshore, 72 miles an hour. All right, even the GFS model. Right, here's a GFS model, and even parts of Long Island could even see 50 mile an hour wind gusts. So this is going to be very exciting, and hopefully we can get a lot more updates on the system, and hopefully, because I'm sure a lot of people in I-95 are missing a big snowstorm, so I really hope this one does come through. So stay tuned for updates. I am the Weather Dude signing off. Till next time, I will catch you guys in the next video.